So we're going to get right into it, man. Why you want to be so hood, man? I want to tie you right into that, man. Why you think a lot of these young men, and you speak so much on what you've gone through from both sides of growing up in the church and also being out in the streets a little bit, but why you think a lot of these young guys want to be so hood? Why they so fascinated by that?
Because most of the time it's promoted all over the TVs, the movies, the videos from whatever genre of music you want to say, because it ain't just rap. So they glorify this stuff without really putting the backspin on what really happens. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of them want to test that water because, like I say, it's cool when you the man in the street, but being the man in the street come with a lot of jail time, which they don't think that far ahead. You know what I'm saying? Or you getting the girls, you getting the money, but at the end of the day, it's hustling backwards. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you come from a certain status and you going backwards. Now, if you was, raised into it, raised in being in the hood, it's a little different because that was your circumstances. You know what I'm saying? And you dabbled in that. But if you ain't have to deal with it, why are you going backwards to deal with something that you're trying to glorify that you know nothing about? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just more the movies and social media, everything, man.
It makes so much perfect sense, man. Just being inspired by things. And I'm glad you said that, man, because I know what it's like to be a young boy growing up and you trying to find your way. Like, for me, don't get it twisted. I don't want to act like I was just so goody till I wasn't, peer pressured and all that stuff, or I wasn't influenced.
Yeah.
Because we all was influenced by some way, form, or fashion. But anyways, I remember, we laughed about it before when I told you, who was my favorite rapper when I was, what really made me start getting into rap, and it was 50 Cent. And I lived nowhere close to his life. But one thing I can say is I never tried to portray as if I was going through what he went through or that I grew up the way he grew up. But that little bit of being inspired by somebody that didn't live a life that I grew up living let me know, like, it's not coming from a judgmental of, man, y'all got, because I understand it from a perspective of influence in some kind of way. But what happens is when you pretend to be something that you're not, and that can go with anything, whether it's relationship, whether it's just being a rapper, a gangster rapper, or whether it's, you acting like you getting money, or whether you acting like you got your own business. Because, people, they lie about a lot of stuff. A lot of people always say, I'm about to do this, or I'm doing this, or, I'm a part of this, or, I got this going on. And you be like, man, you find out and they just totally lying. So what gets me is a lot of times these guys, especially with the young rappers nowadays, they don't even know about the code that you got to live. We talked about it before millions of times, but it's a code that we was talking about earlier. Gangsters and people who really about that life, they don't want to live by the code, but they know I knew what I was signing up for. So I got to go through with it. I got to always live by this code, because if I didn't never want to live by this code, I should have never signed up for it. But now that it's not that you can't change your life, but it's certain things that you do in life that you got to live with for the rest of your life. Exactly. Even if you get out of the hood, even if you don't, really be gang banging or really be robbing or things that you used to do, even though you don't do that no, it's certain principles that we don't always agree with as far as people who's not in the street, as civilians, they still live by that because they know what come with that. And I'm gonna tie you right back into it before we move on, but that's the thing that they're not ready to take upon is what come with it, man. How you feel about that?
Like, you see it all the time, on these guys that get into this world of being a street guy and don't really know the ins and outs. All they see is the glorified part, but at the same time, you can't cry wolf when the consequences come behind whatever you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they just need to. I'll tell everybody, stay away from it. But if you gonna get into it, then you got to certain things apply. You know what I'm saying? So you can't cry now. Like, it's some guys I grew up with right now, and I know they wasn't in the streets, but at the end of the day, they got thug life on they doggone stomach, It ain't nowhere near thug. Don't even know what it stood for. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like, I don't get it, man. If you made it out or you ain't come from that field, like, leave well alone. Be the civilian. You know what I'm saying? Make it cool to be who you are. And that's what it is.